Hello friends, welcome to my channel Cloud TV. In this video I'm going to discuss about RDD, okay, exploring RDD using Python. We call it as PySpark, okay. So basically how we can construct RDD in PySpark using different ways. Okay, so before that let's discuss about what is RDD, okay, and what is to characterize RDD, what are the properties it should have. Okay, so basically RDD is we discussed in the earlier session also. RDD is a basic abstraction in Spark. Okay, so it will contain distributed collection of partitions, right? So if you take example, okay, so I told you can construct RDD in different ways, right? One of the way is to read a file from any storage layer, okay, so our storage system, okay. So if you take SDFS, okay, you can, once you read a file from SDFS, so you get a new RDD, okay. There is a function called text file. If you provide the file path of SDFS, then for a particular file you get a RDD, okay, of Hadoop RDD. So what happens is when you store a file in SDFS, so it will be broken into blocks based on the default block size. So that will be stored in the SDFS. So you read the SDFS file, you get a new RDD. So each block becomes partition in RDD, okay, because it's a the definition itself says RDD is a collection of distributed collection of partitions, right, which can be operated on parallel. So because we want to operate our RDD in parallel, then so that the execution will be faster. Okay, so then what? So once you get this RDD, you can apply any transformation or action on that RDD. So if I apply a filter operation, okay, if you apply filter transformation, you get new RDD. That RDD is a map partition RDD, okay. So if you see here in this example, so in this video we are going to see the PySpark code, okay. Just this slide I just copied the Scala code. So if let's go to the example and I'll show you the PySpark code. So if you want to create a PySpark program, okay, so you can actually create using different IDEs. So I am using a PyCharm ID to set up to run a Spark application or to create Spark application and run it on PyCharm ID. You need to do some settings. So if you are not familiar with that, please go through this video which earlier I prepared how to set up a PyCharm in your system and create a Spark application, run on the Spark application on the PyCharm ID. I will specify this link of this video in the description section. Please follow it. So I created a project called Spark for Beginners. So I created a Python file, okay, where I am actually going to create a simple RDD by reading the file, okay, sample Apache sample yarn log file. So this is the yarn the sample log file. So it has so you know, right, so any log file will have different log lines based on the what type of log it is. So it's info log or error log or warning log kind of things. So I just want to create RDD based on this file and only want to see only error logs. So the lines which has error flag, I want to see that. That's the agenda of this program. So just what you need to do is you need to create a Spark session, okay. To create a Spark session you need a Spark session class. So you create an object for the Spark session. Spark session is a way to connect to the Spark cluster. So Spark session will have one of the user session when you create object for that, and it will internally will have a Spark context and this SQL context and IO context, or the all stuff to connect to different component. Okay, so Spark, using the Spark context, you can connect the Spark cluster to run your program. Okay, so this log level setting is, I just want to, for readability purpose, I am actually ignoring other type of logs. Okay, for when you run this application, this Spark application, PySpark application. So I'm just only want to show only error logs. This is nothing to do with the RDD operation. It's just in Spark context, you are actually ignoring the info logs. Only if any error log error comes, they only show that. So the actual RDD creation starts from here, because basically this is for just a file path, and then we are creating a RDD using the text file method. So Spark context has a file called a function called text file, which will read a file from HDFS or any storage, and it will create a RDD. Okay, so this lines RDD, okay, as a all the lines from this file. Okay, then I am applying a transformation called filter. Okay, just to get only the lines which has error flag. Okay, error word, okay, we would say. So to iterate, so basically this is a function. Okay, so basically this has a function. Okay, so this is the anonymous function. Basically, if you want to access each element from the collection object, you can use the lambda function. So you say lambda, so variable line means each one line from the object. Okay, so and then you, once you get the line, you actually doing the kind of filter or comparison. So you're just checking whether error word is there in this line. If it is there, then only those lines will come to the errors lines already. Okay, then I am actually doing the count, just finding how many lines it is there, and then so I told you, right? So to know the lineage of this RDD, you can use a to debug string method, which will return the lineage for this RDD. Okay, and then we are collecting the RDD to list all the lines from that RDD. Okay, so this part, right, lineage part. So to understand better of what is RDD, okay, what it will contain, let me show you the documentation page. Okay, so this is the documentation page of PySpark. So what it says is a resilient distributed data set RDD is a basic abstraction in Spark. We definitely, this definition we saw already. So represents a immutable partitioned collection of elements that can be operated in parallel. So and the only definition it is given. So I will show you the Scala documentation, same RDD only documentation, which actually specifies about five main properties that any RDD will have. So one is a list of partition. We saw in the diagram itself. So RDD will have list of partition, and it will have a function for computing each split. So it will have a function, it has to operate on those partition in your RDD, and it will have later a list of dependencies on other RDDs. So basically, if you look at the error lines RDD, which is error lines RDD, which is came from the lines RDD, right? Those information, dependency information will be there in the RDD. And also it will have two other optional parameters, like what is the partitioner type, it will have the key RDD, key value RDD will have, and also a list of preferred location to compute each split on the RDD. So if it is a reading from HDFS file, then it will have block location of those files. Okay, these two are optional parameters, and these three are mandatory parameter. So any RDD will have these three. Okay, so this is all about RDD. Okay, so then let's run this program. Okay, and to know how many this in the log file, how many error lines are there, error log lines are there. So why did I put master as local here? Because I'm running from local machine, I'm not connecting any cluster. So that's why I put local of star. Star means multiple threads. So because of I ignored info log, so it is not showing, only the actual output is showing. So we see here error lines RDD count equal to 2, and because only 2 lines are there. Okay, so let me show you the so if you take this word, you find so only 2 matches. This is one match and this is other match. Only 2 matches are there. So so that's why you get 2 count, and this is the lineage of the RDD using the debug string method. To debug string method, you can just find out the RDD lineage, and then I am actually printing the values from that RDD. Just do the collect, you get a list here, and just printing that list here. Okay, so this is how you can build the PySpark application. So this is just I want to show how you can construct RDD using the file. Okay, there is other method to construct RDD. Okay, so using programmatically you can construct RDD. That is, I think we saw earlier in the earlier session itself, but I just want to show you as a program. We saw in the PySpark CLI. If you want to run a program, you just people who are familiar with the Python, please watch my other video on Python fundamentals. Learn Python fundamentals in 1 hour. So it has very good introduction about Python basics. Okay, so there is a main underscore name equal to underscore main. So basically this code will run only when you directly running this program. Okay, that's the meaning of that if block. Then I'm actually checking any input arguments. So input arguments, 0th position will be your program name actually. So after 0th position only, from first position only we'll have user inputs. And just for sake of checking the input arguments, I just put that. So then we create a Spark session object and setting the error log level as error, and this I'm just creating a list. Okay, it's a simple Python list which will have which has 6 elements. Using that Python list, okay, so I want to construct RDD. So to construct RDD from Python object, there is a method called parallelize inside a Spark context. Okay, using the parallelize method, you can convert, you can construct RDD based on your Python object. So, and you need to provide how many partition you want to have it, because we want to do the parallel computation. Okay, distributed computation. Basically, we want to run the task in parallel. Okay, so that's why we want to create multiple partitions. Then you apply. So basically, I'm just converting each elements in the RDD to uppercase. So you use the map transformation and lambda function to iterate each element in the RDD, and then you are actually filtering using the filter transformation, and take each element and check whether it has a Spark word. Okay, so bring only those here. So again, finding the lineage and collect the the final elements from this RDD. Okay, so if we run this, that's what I actually already ran. Okay, so basically it has only 2 lines which has error word, and it will show you the count as well as the value. Okay, so I'm not doing the count here, I'm just collecting it. So only these 4 elements as Spark word. Okay, this is how you can construct RDD programmatically. Okay, so I will upload this code in GitHub and share the link in the description section. Please subscribe to my channel to get more technology videos. So probably the coming up session I'm going to start RDD transformations. Okay, list of RDD transformation we can apply on RDD, and what are the list of actions we can do on RDD. So once we complete the RDD transformation and actions, then we'll go for data frame, data set, and etc. Thank you so much, friend. Please subscribe to my channel to get more videos.